Today is October 30th, 2019. My name is Shane Groves, and I'm in London, Ontario. And I was going to go to or actually, I went to today. I went to the Housing Stability Week, which is individuals and families experience homelessness are encouraged to attend and receive rapid housing support to help end their experience of homelessness. And the public event public event was held at the Silverwood Arena, which is at 50 Sycamore Street, London, Ontario, between 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So I went there today. I didn't record anything, or I tried taking a picture with my cell phone of the arena, of the people that were inside the arena, because I was not able to go in to the arena because I was waiting to see if I can speak to someone about the housing situation, because I'm already housed, so I'm not there to get housing. So I requested to speak to someone, and I was there for a little over 2.5 hours, and I was not able to see anybody. So I turned around and I asked the volunteers, that's if they are volunteers, but I believe they are volunteers, if I was able to take a picture of the list that day of so far of who has come in, and the person has given their name to put on the housing uh, registry to talk to somebody about housing. They said that I was not allowed to take a picture of the list of how many people have signed in for that day so far, because it's considered privacy. And what I couldn't understand is, if they're considered about privacy of the people's names, then why are they taking their person's name? Why are they writing it down? Why are they allowed to see what it is? And then I said, well, I said, well, who gets to see the list after it's finished that day, or after the week is finished of this event? And they said, well, I don't know. Or sorry, they said that they don't know. And I said, well, obviously you do know, or else you were not required to put down people's names of how many people come that day that's needing housing. I said, well, the government needs it because of the fact that they get to write down on a statistic website of how many people came to the event. So it's a statistic number. So they get to see the names, they get to see how many people have come, but yet me, as a public person in the community who's trying to help homeless people and be an advocate of some kind, I was not allowed to take a picture of it. So I think next time I go, probably within the next couple of days, because that's when it's finished, is November 1st, it's done, is I'm going to go again, and this time I'm actually going to record everything, and let's just hope that I don't get arrested, because I'm practicing my legal rights of videography, which is my First Amendment of videography and photography out in public, and because it's a public arena that's being used, and it's a public event for housing and for public speaking. Okay. Now, the thing that I don't understand is, not too many people that I kind of felt or kind of heard is that they're there to talk about homelessness and about the housing problem. Me, on the other hand, I actually have a patent idea. Well, not really a patent idea just yet, but it is an idea about housing. I was supposed to do it in the next summer of 2020 in Toronto, Ontario, but I became homeless again after 5 years of not being on the street. And I did a lot of research about homelessness because I'm a photographer for homelessness. So I was going to start up a website and everything and try to sell my photography to see if I can try to make some funds to try to help homeless people. And I'm on ODSB and I don't have a job because I can't get hired because the government doesn't want to give me the opportunity to rehabilitate back in society and be a working citizen. So I'm on ODSP because of my shattered heel and because of my long, extensive criminal record that I was not able to find employment. So the other thing I want to mention is now that I'm here in London, Ontario, I have an audio recording. I don't know how I could upload that to YouTube other than I could let the video hear it from my cell phone. But I don't want to release it just yet because if certain people get to hear it, yeah, they're not going to be very happy because the lady at the Stability Bank, which is connected with the side building of the Salvation Army, which is Center of Hope in London, Ontario, told me that when I first went for my appointment, I talked to a lady who's getting information from me, told me, which I did not record or audio record or video record, that I had to tell the other worker who does my file that I was coming back to London, Ontario to relocate with my family or try to reconnect with my family or find my family. Or else I was not able to be approved for my last month's rent. So I had to basically be told by this worker that I had to lie to the other worker about coming back to London, Ontario to try to relocate with my family to be approved. But she told me on the recording that, and she kind of whispered it too, so I'm guessing that she probably didn't want the other employees know that she's telling me this because I did not tell her that she was being audio recorded, or else she probably wouldn't have told me that, correct? But yet, why wouldn't she have a problem with it if it's part of their policy? That's on the application of the applicants, which made no sense to me. So if they're not investigating it to find out if you actually do have family here, they don't call nobody, they don't search up the person's name. So why? What, I don't get it. Why are they telling people that they have to relocate with their family to be approved? It's like a loophole, she says. So if homeless people are coming here, and I can't really say this without maybe possibly sounding like I'm a discriminational person, but those who are on drugs or alcohol or have a mental problem, who don't use their head properly because they have a mental problem, or does not know about their legal rights on how to speak to a person who's in office of some kind of organization or building. How do they know that that's exactly what they need to do is to be in a shelter in London, Ontario, to prove that they've been in the shelter system for 6 months prior to getting approved for last month's rent, or on ODSP or welfare and getting a letter from them proving that you've been in London, Ontario, receiving a street allowance here in London, Ontario for 6 months. So you're telling me that this government apparently has made some sort of policy, and because of the different type of municipality of region of Ontario, they've now made this program called Stability Bank, which is no longer housing a housing worker through OW or ODSP, and that last month's rent is comes out of your startup when you get your startup from ODSP or your OW. But now they're making it hard for people who get this last month's rent from Stability Bank to do in payments for the last month's rent back that they received from this Stability Bank. I've agreed to the conditions that I pay back, like I believe it's $18 a month until I've paid it off. But when I've paid half of it off, they pay the other half. That makes no sense. But yet it's the government's money. So how are they paying back the other portion of the half month's rent back with their own government money? That makes no sense. So they're making it hard for people to pay back this loan that they supposedly got, which is basically no different than getting a loan from Cash Money Store, Money Mart loan, uh, money cash stores, whatever it's called with those loans. They have to pay back a percentage. But with Stability Bank, you don't have to pay the full back first and last month's rent requirement. So I don't mind paying the $18 or $12 a month until it's half paid off, and then they cancel the other half, which makes no sense. But when it was connected through welfare, which is kind of slipped my mind right now, but it's a housing worker that was with welfare or OW to get, to get your last month's rent, where you did not have to pay it back. So why did they cancel that here in London? So in my opinion, the government's wasting money. I'm frustrated. I just don't understand on how that's helping anybody and the housing problem here. I've done research and I've looked just out of curiosity because I was doing it in Toronto. I wanted to look up on the website of how many abandoned buildings here are in London, Ontario, and is a list, quite a bit of a list actually, and some of them will say beside it that it's already been demolished. But because I'm not a public figure or a tax-paying person or a person that works for the government, I have no legal access to find out if those buildings are actually property owned by the government or by a bank or a real estate office or a prior owner who passed away and it's not belonging to nobody. I can't find out, apparently. I could put a request in to the city councilor for the property department and see if I can, but apparently I think they told me that there's a fee to put in an applicant request for public access to that, which makes no sense to me. So a lot of these buildings are vacant for a lot of years. I know that because I was here about 9 years ago. I believe back before 2012. I think I was here in 2010, and I was here for 9 years. So I know a lot of the different areas. There are some things that have smallly changed, like country style used to be Adelaide and Hamilton Road. Now it's a pharmacy. So some things have changed. Some sort of a complex company have come into London, put up some apartment buildings up on Lyle and street above it, which is I believe. Let me get to that 1 second. Sorry, I should have already known this, but I don't know the streets very well. Uh, so I'm here. Okay, so this is. I gotta go to here. Here's Hamilton Road. So Hamilton Road and there's Adelaide. So Hamilton and Adelaide. So you cross over the bridge. So it's York Street. Sorry, King. Yeah, King and Adelaide. There's a few complexes back there, which is also connected to Marshall Street. Just, I believe that would be north of Dundas. And there's the London Police Station right there on Adelaide and Dundas. So it's on the opposite side of Adelaide and Dundas, which is near King Street. There's 3 apartment buildings. Those are all brand spanking new since the last time I was here. So apparently from Lyle Street, yeah, from Lyle Street. Oh, sorry, yeah. So Lyle Street and Dundas, just north of that, between King and Dundas, there's 3 brand new spanking apartment complexes. So apparently, from what I'm hearing from other people who've lived in that area for a while, has been going to the Arcade Mission, especially Wendy, who's in a wheelchair. She's in that apartment building over there. Not the new ones, but the opposite direction. She's told me that apparently this apartment complex company has bought practically literally a lot of the street from Lyle on Dundas all the way to the beginning of the Ontario Street. So they bought a lot of that. So a lot of those stores are vacant. They're not being used. There's still stuff in them. Businesses closed down, but apparently they're keeping the Unity Project, the Arcade Mission, and a few other places like the theater. I believe is still there. So they bought all that whole street from that area. Now, to my understanding, why would they need to build Ritchie type condominiums or apartment complexes for the higher class people when about 9 years ago when I was here, Joey Fontana or whatever his name was mayor. They've all been promising. All these mayors have so far within the 8 years or 9 years that I've been gone have all been promising affordable housing for London, Ontario. And now that I've been back for the last couple of months now, I've been doing research and I haven't seen any new housing complexes for low income housing for the people who are on disability or welfare for subsidized housing. There's no new buildings whatsoever. You don't believe me? Look it up. Okay? That's one thing. So there's a lot of places that are vacant, a lot of houses, factories. The keg, not the keg, the Kellogg's building is now apparently not there anymore. Well, the building's still there, but the factory's no longer there. The one that's across from that, that's still being either slowly demoed or it's still there, which doesn't make sense. So yeah, so I came here on London, Ontario, I believe on September 2nd, and I got my place on September 17th because I ended up going out and having also a friend also look up places for me to see if I can try to find rent real quick. Then I had a lady who my friend knew, which is a real estate off lady. I ended up borrowing money from her to get a bus pass, which is it's called the Stability Bus Pass, which is $52. If not, then I would have had to pay for the $81 bus pass. But because I'm on ODSP, I had to get an ODSP letter stating that I needed the Stability Bus Pass, which is cheaper, which is $52. So I ended up paying that when I ended up getting my place and got my check and everything. Everything panned out pretty good. I paid my rent and everything. I got my place, which, as you can tell, I'm sitting in my little bachelor apartment, which is $675 a month. So Stability Bank, I ended up paying first and last month's rent. So yes, Mike Lasky Properties. He's all across London, Ontario. Here, he's probably also, I think, Hamilton, and so a few other small places. But he's very popular here, and he's got a lot of properties here in London, Ontario. I've been trying to contact him and talk to him, which I have, and he's apparently full to capacity. But I've been trying to help other people try to find places to live. There are places to live, but the rent is a bit too high, or the requirements to rent. That means either a person of their own colored descent, which is black, East Indian, Asian, Muslim, so forth, or a person who is in education, schooling, or they're on work, they're working, work class, who doesn't have ODSP or welfare, and they're working. Or a student who requires a signature by a parent so that if they don't end up paying the rent, the parent pays the rent, which is a student. So there's a lot of things that need to be done in London. I'm hoping to do as much as I possibly can, very politely as much as I can without trying to get arrested. Um, yeah, because I'm pretty much a nobody and they don't care, right? You cause problems, this and that. I'm not here to cause problems. I'm here to make sure the legal the legal things are done properly, and to come up with some really good ideas, which I have an idea, I just haven't actually added it, and I need a person to help me finalize it and do it in more of a better proposal letter uh, description, and I need a financer to look at it. Yes, housing and finance, because and it's also going to deal with work, not these job placement programs or labor ready agencies who really can't do nothing for me because of my criminal record, and I can't do co-op anywhere and I can't get a placement anywhere. But yet they say there are jobs out there that do hire people with criminal records. Well, if they're all full, what am I supposed to do? Sit on it and call them every month until a thing comes up? I've tried to do that. I was here in London, Ontario. I went to Pathways, which is a property maintenance program run through welfare, which is a participation program I had to agree upon to look for work. I took it. I got my certificate. I passed it. I just couldn't get a job at the end of the day, even though I kept trying to connect with them for like 6 months prior of me completing the program. I wasn't able to get employment anywhere, and I was also doing my 2-week co-op placement at Pathways as a cleaner. So I couldn't get nothing anywhere. So that's the subject there. And then I also know how to do odd jobs. I know how to do small renovations. I'm very educated. I might need a little bit practice on my welding again, but I pretty much got it. I know how to do fencing. I know how to do drywalling. I know how to do painting, and I know how to do a little bit of bricklaying for walkways and so forth. But I don't deal with solid concrete. I just deal with bricks and bricklaying and interlocking and stuff like that. It's not that really much of a genius, but I can do it. I know how to do small engine repair. I know how to do a little bit of no, I can't do painting on cars. No, I can't do that because that requires a gun and a very good eye, and can't really do that just yet. But an engine, I can pretty much no wiring, absolutely no wiring whatsoever. But taking an engine apart, maybe if something's wrong with it, build a new part, get a new part for it, and then put it back together and put a whole engine back together. I know how to do that. It's quite simple. I mentally see it as a puzzle, so it's like puzzles on the table. So I have no problems doing that. And small engine repair. So I'm only going to do about a half an hour video right now about the subject of what I've done so far. I'm also a photographer for homelessness. I was trying to plan on doing um, a website so that I could try to see if I can sell my photography to try to make proceeds to go back and help homeless people or get me things to that will help the homeless. So I'll probably eventually start that up by next summer in London, Ontario. But for now, I'm going to do some videos. I'm going to do my photography. I'm upload them to Facebook. I'm not really an Instagram kind of guy. I don't walk around with my cell phone snapping everything on my phone because Instagram hasn't really fixed the fact that I have to upload Google Chrome, then right click with Instagram to upload a video or a picture, and then 5 at a time. And then no, I got over 4,000 pictures of homelessness. So that's gonna by the time I'm done my last picture of homelessness on Facebook to Instagram, all those pictures are gonna go all the way down to the bottom of the page of Instagram. So if anybody wants to see it, they might not be able to. They'll have to scroll. Like it's just for miles. It's pointless. Instagram, you need to upgrade your. Okay, seriously, do something about it, or put it in albums so it's a little bit more organized on, you know, live pictures, photos, or you know what I mean, whatever it may be, like Facebook does maybe. But I'm not telling you, I'm just giving you an idea that you should, find easier ways to upload or, to be able to transfer files from one thing to another instead of me linking my Facebook account to my Instagram so that people can jump to my Facebook. If they want one or the other, that's how it is. Okay. But I'm going to see what I can try to do. And that's that. Okay. So that's the end of the day. I might make another video later today or whatever, but I'm going to upload it to my YouTube. And my YouTube channel is Speaking Real Talk. SpeakingRealTalk on YouTube. That's my Gmail to look me up on YouTube if you'd like to look me up. Or if you want to look me up to Facebook, it's Shane, Shane, middle initial L, last name Groves, Groves. I do oddly change my Facebook picture, so right now it's just a clown for Halloween for this, obviously for this Halloween. But yeah, look me up, or I'll put a link. Actually, I can't do that on the video because I don't know how to do all that stuff just yet. But that's my Facebook account. All right. So have a good day. And that'll be it for now because I can only upload 30-minute videos for now because I don't pay for my YouTube channel. I don't have a lot there, but I do have some pretty good videos that you might be interested in actually. I'll have haters. I won't have haters. I don't know. It's whatever. I hope I don't have haters. I just need some serious help with some passionate people. Maybe give me some ideas, make some comments, some likes, maybe subscribe to me, pass me along to other people. Let's see what we can do. Okay? Because I know there's other people that's helping out there as well. I've tried connecting with a few people. I've been banned from Facebook groups about organizations and not-for-profits because when I complain that they're doing their fundraiser, they go back to the office. They have pictures on Facebook all about this feeding and all this fancy food and shit. But I don't see a homeless person in there. I don't see a homeless person talking on video. I don't see anything after their fundraiser. So they're doing all this funding, and yet they're spending it all on themselves. So I kept getting banned from different groups on Facebook. And I can't prove it because once I'm banned from the group, it completely takes me right off of the Facebook group where you don't see my posts, you don't see my comments, you don't see nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? So I can't prove that. But like I said, I'll do more videos and so forth and more pictures and update you all. Okay? Have a nice day. Bye.